We're streaming. Okay, we have a special surprise for y'all. And I want you to recognize those of you that are nice and on time. So we're going to do a giveaway of my very favorite accessory ever, especially when you have children, you're building a business, and you want to look fab in photos and videos. Obs. You want to be awake. You want to be up and fired up. So we're going to give away a mister. All right. So if you're joining us live ASAP, like as soon as we're live, right? I want you to come and check in with us. Let us know, where are you tuning in from today? And I'm going to start picking the winners. I'm thinking I'm going to pick 5 or 10 of you beautiful people.
Dang.
I know. Here, baby, you keep demonstrating.
Recognize all those new people. I'm just sharing this real quick,
Here, let me just double task immediately, right? So my team is on. I see Cameron in the house. Cameron, you're going to be the first winner. Cameron Morrison. Natasha is in the house. Girl, I love your energy. You're another winner. We got Laura Gelty. You're another winner. And Mr. Woman, who said that? Laura Sholdies. We're going to send you a mister. Okay. All right. Who else wants a mister? Let me know in the comments.
Everybody should want a mister.
Here, baby, you demonstrate.
And we're talking about this kind of mister.
Oh my gosh, please. If you're going to mist, this is the only way.
No, I'm just kidding. Totally joking.
Oh gosh, you're so dramatic. I wonder where you get this
Baby,
from.
explain to people the purpose
of
the mister.
I
mean,
you forgot to turn it off, baby.
No, I didn't forget. I did it on purpose just so you would make that comment.
Okay, so here's what happens, right? Essentially, all you do with this beautiful mister is you put some water in it. That's it, just water. And the process that happens here is that it's taking the big molecules of water and it's making them micro. So that way, your skin can soak it up. Your eyeball is 98% water. So you're going to feel better in your eyeballs, believe it or not. I know. It sets your makeup. So for those of us ladies that do makeup, it'll set your makeup. It'll just freshen you up. I mean, I don't know how you still recognize me after my misting operation, right? Okay, so if you're just joining us, I want to say hello. Welcome to session number 4. Can you believe we've been going live like there's no tomorrow every day since Monday? I tell you.
Not as easy as we make it look, y'all.
As an introvert, I know. Okay, don't be shocked. But I am an outgoing introvert. Like, I love people. I love to engage. I love to show up. I love to crush it. However, it doesn't come at no cost. I swear, next week I'm going to be quiet all week long. I will not say a word. We'll see what happens, right? Anyways, so let us know, where are you coming in from? Hang on, I want to make sure I can see all your beautiful comments. First of all, I mean, let's focus on the task at hand. Okay, so let's give away a few more misters. And, the reason why I want to do it, it's also a teaching point, you all, right? Because for a while there, while we were in our business building, we got a little bit too caught up in recognizing top producers. But the secret to success, to building this really amazing culture in your organization, is to also recognize people for doing the activities. So yes, you want to recognize people for creating a result, but if you can also recognize the activity of them showing up, the activity of them plugging in, the activity of them, posting a curiosity post on their wall, you're going to notice that your team culture is going to go up, up, up. Same way your energy is going to go up, 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 and you have this amazing mister in your grasp. And it's such a good conversation starter, y'all. I mean, if you're gonna talk about it.
We're gonna talk about it.
All right, baby. Why don't you pick a few more people? I already did the deed.
How about Rena Rochelle Smith?
Ooh.
Reina.
Okay.
So she'll be the next Mr. winner.
Oh, okay. Yes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Patty King ordered one, but want one for my sister. Boom. So she ordered one. You just want another one. How many more?
Let's do one more.
Okay.
Let's do one more.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom.
seems like we're in momentum. Notice.
Julie Bushnell Garrett in Nebraska. She's been here since Monday.
Oh my gosh, I love you. Extra.
I'm gonna tell you all right now, this is gonna be the best training.
I know.
I say that probably every time,
do.
but this one is all about leadership, team building, onboarding, culture, and duplication. It's kind of a big deal.
So really, if we were gonna translate the features that you just said into the benefits, I mean, this really is the module. This is going to be the secrets to taking your business to 6 figures and beyond. It's like Bed Bath and Beyond, except this is going to be your amazing business to 6 figures and beyond. So we're going to get into some leadership insights, a couple of housekeeping rules, y'all. Number one, this session is going to be available for you to watch until tomorrow at 11:59 a.m. So if you have teammates, if you have people on your team that you go, man, they really got to get on, feel free to tag right now. Feel free to share right now. If you're joining us for the first time, what's up? John and Nadia Melton here. We've been in the entrepreneurial space for a couple of decades.
A couple decades.
It's crazy to say out loud, to be honest with you, right?
That sounds like a long time.
Kind of crazy, baby. Can
And
you
it
do a little?
has been.
Can you say a little something while I share this?
Yeah, I
slide?
mean, I just want to say this, like for those of you that already have the ATM Business Academy, because I know a ton of you have purchased the course, not just this week, but over the years, you automatically have access to this. But here's the only caveat, is that these videos are going to take a little while to edit and then upload them into your back office. So if you want the information, you really want to be on live or at least watching the replay within 24 hours. Because once we take them down, it's not like they're going to be uploaded into your back office tomorrow or probably not even next week, because it takes time to edit the videos and then upload them into your back office. So just want to put that out there. But the reason we're doing this for free, the reason we're doing this publicly, because we want people that maybe they don't have the money or they don't really know what's going to be covered in the academy. They're going to get a taste. They're going to get a flavor. They're going to understand a little something about what's inside of the program, but they're not going to get the PDFs. They're not going to get the scripts. They're not going to get all the bonus training that's coming as well, and the bonus training that's already in there. They're just getting these live sessions as we publicly re-record them. And this is going to be way more robust, a lot more content. In fact, this is essentially replacing our old program that we did years ago, because things have changed over the years. Like just a couple years ago, we weren't talking about TikTok. Even a year ago,
I know.
We were talking. Clubhouse has been what, a month, maybe 2 months. We've been talking about Clubhouse. No, probably about a month. I think since like January.
Oh, baby.
So just understand things are always evolving, which is why we're trying to do our best to give you the goods, give you the most latest and greatest content and what's happening. So I'd recommend you share this with your teams. Anybody in network marketing, anybody you know wanting to build an online business, because as you know, we have people from just about every company selling just about every product and service you can imagine that plug into this program that are students of our academy. Like some of the biggest teams in network marketing, some of the biggest companies in network marketing, and very small companies are using the ATM system now to build their business. And we're the only ones that have the ATM Business Academy. There are no other programs like this on the market today. And look, at the end of the day, ATM is just the exposure process, right? There's a lot more to what we do than just the ATM system, but it's kind of the foundation of exposing people to the products and opportunity, which how many of us would agree, smash the heart button if you concur, that is the foundation to any profitable business, is exposing people to the products, to the opportunity, so they can make a buying decision.
That's right.
So this is session 4, February 4th. Tomorrow will be lead generation. We'll talk more about Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as far as generating leads, building an audience, and really what we'll teach tomorrow, you could apply to any social platform, but it'll be mostly Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yes. How many of you guys are super psyched for today? Of course.
And if you want the lifetime.
And how many of you are really, really excited for tomorrow? Yes, baby.
I just want to make sure I mention that if somebody wanted to get the ATM Business Academy and they haven't yet, tomorrow is your last opportunity, today, tomorrow, to get it at 66% off. So if you were like, John, I want access to the replays, the PDFs, the resources, all the things, you would go to mylifestyleacademy.com/live offer. You can see it right there on the bottom of your screen. Take a screenshot. Don't forget, let your teams know, because they can get it at $97. Next week, it goes up to $297. So just want to throw that out there. That's our little nonchalant pitch, if you will.
Yeah,
but we're excited because this is such an important conversation. This whole curriculum is important, but I think this particular session is going to be lights out.
I know.
If you want to get to, how many of you want to get to 6 and 7 figures? Let us know in the comments.
Yes. And you guys, I want to say huge thank you to all of you that already left a review. I tell you, I couldn't help but dance out loud this morning.
She was definitely excited.
I was dancing. You know, when you get your hair done and you spray it a little bit with hairspray, because, you know, let us fixate a good thing. And then I was dancing like it was going out of style because of all you people, beautiful people. So thank you for leaving the review. If you haven't heard about this just yet, we're doing a big giveaway. See, we wanted to bless one of you. It's going to be a random thing. So if you take a few minutes and you go, just leave a little bit of golden nuggets of what you learned from our page, our training this week. We'd love you extra. And your name is going to go into this raffle. And at the end of the week, believe it or not, we're going to give away one of those amazing Diva Ring lights. And that's, I feel, is an accessory any modern entrepreneur that's utilizing social media should have. Retail value, a couple $100. So we want to bless one of you beautiful people. So if you haven't left a review just yet, can you just go ahead and take a screenshot of this slide, right? And then that way you don't forget. I believe in trusting a screenshot better than long-term memory, because you know that sometimes can go south, and that's just that. All right, cool. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and dive in. I want to welcome you out. Can you believe we are on module 4?
Crazy.
It is crazy. Time is flying by. The fact that you're here with us speaks huge volumes of you, of where you're going, the vision you've cultivated for yourself. I'm so proud of you. Sometimes I think we need that beautiful reminder, right? Because it's hard not to get FOMO'd, essentially, because we're so focused on how far we have to go that sometimes we forget to recognize how far we've come. And we talked a little bit about in module 3 about the value of that morning routine and value of getting grounded in the fact that you do have a miracle in your mouth, that you are unique, that God does not make junk, and you right now already have everything you need to have in order to create the results. So could it be your inner game needs lifted? Could it be your outer game, aka your skills that need to be lifted? Either way, I believe in constant and never ending improvement. And I want to recognize you. I really want to take a minute to really recognize you, to applaud you for being here, for investing time, energy, and money into your skill set, into your mindset, because you know, success is, they say, 80 to 90% mindset. But at the same time, if you don't have the skill set to build it really optimized, systemized, you'll never take your business to 6 or 7 figures and beyond. So the point of today's session, and I'm really, really excited for this one. I think this is one of those pivotal moments, right? Where you go, wow, okay, let's really future pace. Let's really understand the moving parts of what it takes to develop a 6-figure business, you know, the leadership insights, team building, onboarding, culture, duplication. So John and I really sat down and we identified those pillar components of what it's going to take for you. So I hope you're excited. I hope you're ready to take notes. I hope you turn off any distractions, maybe even let your kids know, hey, your madre is busy. We want to go to Disney and we got to figure out some things, put some pieces into movements.
Disney ain't cheap.
Moving the needle in your business. Okay.
That's
so
right.
let's just say this. Your story would suck if you had fast success.
That's true. I think it's really important for us to have that perspective. Like at the time, I wasn't excited about struggling. I wasn't excited about rebuilding over and over again, my team quitting and not making money.
Right.
But when I look back, I needed to have that time on the bottom to, number one, learn what it took to be on the top, number one, right? While I was on the bottom, I was learning what it took to be on the top. But here's the other thing, to get to the top, I had to fail my way to the top. I had to earn while I learned. And actually I did a lot more learning than earning in the beginning.
Yeah.
But when I got there, I understood why it took so long. I had so much appreciation and gratitude for what I built because I knew the price I paid to get there. How many of us that have achieved success in anything? You learn to play the piano.
Yeah.
You learn how to play a sport, right? You graduated from college. Like, you had to pay a price. It didn't happen overnight. It wasn't easy. We don't ever say it's easy.
Right.
Like, on paper, it looks easy. 3 to get 3 to get 3. Get some customers, right? All of it makes sense on paper, in theory, but the reality is it's tough. It's hard. It's meant to be hard. If it was easy, everybody would do it. The hard is what makes it great. So be okay with the struggle. Embrace the suck. In fact, like Nadia mentioned, your story would suck if you're like, I got in, everybody I talked to said yes, I did a curiosity post, got 1,000 leads, they all bought the product, they loved the product, they all decided to become teammates. I made $1 million my first year. Everybody would hate you. Everybody be like, I hate that story. It sucks, because it makes everybody else feel bad.
Yeah.
Like, I love the story of the dream, the struggle, and then the result. Like, they went out and made it happen. They had a dream, right? They had a goal. They had vision for what they wanted to accomplish, but there was the struggle, right? They paid the price. How many have ever heard, you can't own success? You can't own success, right? You can only borrow success. And rent is due every day. So you got to show up, you got to pay the price, and just understand that over time, you will build a business, a profitable business that you'll look back and be like, I understand why it took so long. It took us 7 years to create a full-time income, 16 years to become $1 million earners. And last year was the first year we started earning multiple 6 figures per month. So in order to get to 6 figures, just to get to 6 figures, and by the way, the only difference in 6 and 7 figures, the 7-figure earner has a bunch of 6-figure earners on their team. That's it. But you can't teach someone to do something you've never done. Yes?
Yes.
So there's some variables, right? 5 variables to be exact to build a 6-figure business. 1, you need the opportunity, the vehicle, if you will. You can't fly to the moon in a car, right? You can't be a 6-figure or a 7-figure earner when you're just a school teacher, when you're just a janitor, right? Like, it's impossible. So one thing you got to get excited about in network marketing is it's possible to achieve your dreams. It's possible to go out there and smash your goals and create the life you dream about, right? And have that lifestyle. That's why we're My Lifestyle Academy, right? We're all about lifestyle.com. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's possible if you don't do the work, right? It doesn't matter that you could become $1 million earner, or you could make, the big money if you don't have an onboarding system, a training system, if your culture sucks, if you don't develop yourself into a leader, right? It'll become an impossibility, even if the vehicle is there for you. If you don't learn to drive a car, or you don't learn to fly the plane, right? It'll never take off. And I think this is really important to understand that, yes, it's possible for you to become massively successful, but don't you want to do it the right way? Don't you want to build something that lasts and basically has longevity? Like, I didn't want to get to 6 figures or 7 figures and then have it fall apart because I simply got lucky. So you see a lot of people with shiny ball syndrome where they're hopping from company to company, hoping to get lucky. And it's just a bad mentality, because the truth is, even if you get lucky, it won't last if you don't develop your leadership, if you don't have quality team culture, if you don't have a system in place for the newest person getting started, which is what we talked about in the first 3 modules. And onboarding is everything, because how many of us would agree that the newest person getting started, that's what it's all about. In order to achieve long-term residual income, smash that hard button if you want some long-term residual income, you want beach money. It's all about helping that newest person. And as we've talked about, SYSTEM stands for Save Yourself Time, Energy, and Money. Time, energy, and money. And this is where I wanted to become more efficient and effective. This is why we got so excited about social media and building online, because we wanted to generate leads. We wanted to build real relationships, connect with people, have a system for exposure, hence ATM, right? We wanted to get good at the follow-up and really systemize the close and how we go about onboarding the newest person. Because when you plug your new teammates into the system, it's got to be simple. It's got to be duplicatable. It has to help them get the ball rolling immediately. The sooner you get that new person taking action, the sooner you get them documented, help them get their first customer, enroll their first teammate, the more excited they're going to be. And I think all of us can appreciate the simplicity of a system, but it's putting the pieces in place that can be the hard part, right? Like once it's up and running, it's fantastic, but in the beginning, it's really tough. So if you look at our unit number 1 inside of our team training group, all right, this is just an example of what a team training group can look like. So this would be unit 1. Like every new person I enroll, I'm like, start with unit 1.
Yeah.
Get into the team page, go through unit 1, go through the training, print off the documents, and let me know when you're done. So I'm not just signing someone up and saying, I'm done, got one, good luck, see you later, call me if you need me. Like I'm involved, but when it comes to like the training and like having them understand the basics, like I give them a little bit of like, hey, these are the 3 steps. These are a couple things we want to do, map out some goals. But first, I want you to go through a couple quick start trainings. I want you to print off the 24-hour getting started game plan. I want you to print off the scripts, because if they have the checklist, the scripts, and just some of the basics to get started, it really helps them understand and comprehend what they need to focus on getting started, because you're going to have people joining your business that maybe haven't built a business before. They've never really used social media before. So it can't just be a system for people that know how to use social media. You need a system in place for someone that is brand spanking new to network marketing.
Yeah, no, that's so good. You guys, so we wanted to give you a skeleton of what we've created.
Right.
And the questions that we asked is, okay, so when somebody gets started, whether they've done the business or not done the business, what are those simple foundations? And we captured it in a 24-hour getting started checklist. Now, before we show you that system, I think it's a really good template for those of you that don't have like a simple onboarding system. This would be really good for you to model. But notice how in unit 1, I love that we did a welcome video. So we're welcoming them to the team. We're welcoming them to the company. We're doing a little bit of future pacing. We're doing a little bit of housekeeping of what the group is all about, right? Clarity is going to equal power. And it's a quick 4 to 5 minute video. And notice how we put it in a unit and we say, watch first. So people, what I found, myself included, we love to be told what to do, right? So when we're born, we have parents and they tell us what to do. And then they ship us off to kindergarten and first grade, et cetera, and we're told what to do. So when you are creating that infrastructure, giving those clear instructions is so powerful. Just because you figured it out, right, doesn't mean they're going to figure it out. And most people, they really need those simple instructions, especially in the beginning.
Well, and you also want to follow up to make sure they went through everything and printed it off. Because I've had people, they're like, yeah, I'm done. I'm like, well, wait a second. I just tagged you in that welcome video like 5 minutes ago. They're like, yeah, I watched it. I'm like, yeah, but that's just the first video. There's other, there's actual like training videos and documents that you can print off as well. And they're like, oh, I thought it was just that video. So again, you're not just signing them up and saying, all right, best of luck, hasta luego, right? Like you're following up to say, hey, are you ready to put up your first post? Do you have some key people we can talk to? What we covered in the first 3 modules. Right. So really simplifying this. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. This is not something that's ever like complete. Like we're always updating things, like especially like in the beginning when we first launched our training group and we first launched our ATM groups. So be okay with it not really being all that organized, not having, like you could see the structure of our first unit. It's okay if you don't have all of this. Like don't put too much pressure on yourself if you're just getting started with creating units and creating these initial documents. Because I know for some of us, that's not our wheelhouse, but here's the other thing. There might be people on your team that are great at that. So don't be afraid to reach out to your upline, sideline, downline and find out what they have in place, because the easier you make this for the new person, the better. Unit 2, We really have like launching your business training, you know, the 3DW Facebook Live launch formula that we went through with all of you, like all the stuff we're sharing with you in this ATM Business Academy. This is literally the stuff that we're doing with our own team. And just to put it in perspective, our team in 2019 did 40 million in sales. Just after the year before doing 30 million, year before that, 25 million. Last year, 63 million in sales. We grew 23 million in 1 year, y'all. 163,000 new customers acquired. So we're not speaking in theory.
Right.
We have a multi-million-dollar organization that literally does millions and millions of dollars a month around the world. And this is the system. Now, I'll tell you this too. This is what's really great about having a system is eventually you have leadership developed in your organization. They create their own team training groups. They take what you've created or what the company's created, and they've created their own versions of that. Now, I'm not telling people to do that, but they do it automatically. Right? They take their own examples, their own curiosity post examples, their own launch videos. And this is the other thing that we do a lot of, and we're going to talk about this throughout the training as well, but we're always recognizing what we want repeated. We're shouting out people that are doing their first, you know, group chat, or they're getting their first customer, their first rank advancement. They just ATM their first person. They did their first OMG, I did a thing post. They did their first launch video. Their first curiosity post. They did a really great TikTok. We're sharing that stuff in the team training group because it's a community. We want everyone collaborating and helping each other level up. We also wanted to give you an example of our 24-hour getting started checklist. This is money.
Yeah, I think, could this be my very favorite document we've ever created? Because you all, let me just paint a little like paint vision on you. This document, legitimately, I feel like it took the longest because we had to really boil down
like the most
to
important
what are
variables.
the most important steps. How can we keep the overwhelm down? I think that's the biggest kind of like struggle that you have is when a new person gets started, we do not want to fire hose them, right? Oh my gosh, you got to do this and you got to do this and you got to do this and you got to do this. And then they go, dude, it's too much. I already have kids. I have to homeschool them and I have a husband and I have to cook for him.
They quit before
overwhelmed.
They quit before getting started. Right. Right.
Do you know what I mean? So what happens is
they retire early.
Yes. So I have to tell you, we're so proud of this particular like infrastructure we created, and we want to showcase it for you. Now, a lot of the stuff you're going to see, we blurred, skillfully blurred. Notice my team is crushing it, definitely. But we skillfully blurred those details, obviously, that are our company specific. But I saw so much value in showing it to you so you can think about, okay, how would this apply to my business, my company, etc. Okay. So we created a 6-page document. You saw this demonstrated in unit number 1. And I put in parentheses, print out. And then John and I created a simple video about where we reviewed the document and we said, watch second. Okay. So watch first, watch second, print out, very simple instructions. So what is included in this beautiful document? Number 1 is let's help your people get organized. Isn't that interesting how we forget, especially for those of us that have been inside our businesses for some time, we forget those initial pain points.
Exactly.
But it's the little things. Let's help them understand, okay, here's your member area. This is how you log in and track your customers. This is, you know, the tools you use. If you have an app inside your company, right, they can download all those different things. So what kind of tools, web, like apps, whatever. So in our sheet here, we demonstrated for them, hey, download these 2 apps. Here is your website for acquiring customers. Here's your website for building your team. And we help them with leaving them some space to fill it out so they have it all organized. Number 2, this is really important, is you want to help them set their first month goal. You guys, you got to treat every new person that joins your organization like they're going to be the top income earner in your company, but also they might quit within 48 hours.
Exactly.
You know? And what happens is the minute you help them kind of future pace, understand how to make money, how to just even make their money back,
Right.
that instantly raises their belief, that gets them enthused, their energies are flowing. So let us help them set that first month goal and then future pace. Then we have the pre-launch scripts, ATM funnel explained, and I'm going to actually demonstrate it for you as well so you can see it, and you're going to notice how we are repeating ourselves. Do you remember module 2? We taught you the system for launching / pre-launching / relaunching your business. Well, we have that documented inside that document. So we can literally help that brand new person take those first couple of steps. We want to help them curate their first curiosity post. We want to help them make that initial announcement. And then we want to spill out the training system so we can plug them into how everything works and they can follow that.
Right.
Okay?
And when we say training schedule, like some companies
I'm
have.
going to show it. I'm going to show
Okay.
it.
Okay. Just
So
want to make
don't
sure.
jump. Okay. So now let's talk about, can you break this down?
Yeah.
Essentially helping them with their first
Yeah.
month goal.
So I think it's really important to have a core rank.
Okay.
Core ranks are important, meaning what does someone need to do to make their money back? What does someone need to do to make a check with a comma? Those would be 2 of the ranks that I would try to help people get to immediately. So here again, this is just with our network marketing company, right? But we're giving you examples so that you can create this for your own organization. But essentially, this is you recruit 3, you get 10 customers, and then you help those 3 people that you enroll, help them get 3 and help them get 10 customers. So this is kind of like the first step, right? You want to go out there and enroll 3 people in your business as business partners, right? People that want to earn an income, and you want to find 10 people to become a customer. And we kind of break down how, that would essentially earn you a check with a comma, right? So that's an example. Again, all companies have different compensation plans. You have to figure this out with your own company, maybe get with your upline, your sideline, your downline to figure out what those core ranks would be. And then from there, you teach the people that you brought on to duplicate this within their organization, and you help them do it. You're not just saying, hey, now you go do that with your people. You're literally working with them. Look, when you have someone that's brand new, they're in their first 30, 60, 90 days, I'd be all over them like white on rice, because you're the fisherman, they're the fishing pole. You're the fisherman, they're the fishing pole. Now, your goal is to duplicate them into a fisherman, but in the beginning, like Nadia mentioned, they might quit. They might quit in a week or a month. You don't know. They might get real excited and they get real discouraged. So in the meantime, let's find out who they know. Every dud knows a stud. Sometimes duds become studs. And here's the reality. They might become one of your biggest producers one day, but not if they quit in the first couple weeks, first couple months. So it's just like a baby. Like you have a newborn baby. You're not going to say, hey, you hungry for some steak, little buddy? You don't feed a steak to a baby. They don't have freaking teeth, right? Like, hello. So it's the same thing in our business. It's the same thing with anything, right? You first start playing a sport, you suck. You're 4 years old. You're terrible. You're not making the high school team when you're 4. You understand? You need a coach. You need someone helping you. So give them those simple steps. How do they ATM people? How's that work? What's the scripts? Now, listen, again, in the beginning, just give them some basic stuff. Have like a skeleton of all this, and then you can, make it more elaborate later. But I'm going to tell you, again, this is the only challenge. This is a challenge we have because we have a lot of knowledge. We don't want to overwhelm those new people. The majority of the people in your team are not trying to make a full-time income when they get started. They're just hoping to make their money back. They're just hoping to get a customer. They're hoping to make a check. You get it? Now, I know down the road, your goals change, but when someone's brand new, I'm telling you, they might say, I want to make thousands. I want to make millions. But in the back of their mind, they're like, I just hope I make my money back. I know that's what I thought when I got started. I'm like, I hope this isn't a scheme, a scam. I hope I don't get screwed.
No,
right?
for sure.
You ever meet people that go, oh, I got screwed. I did one of those things. I got scammed. And it's like, no, you quit. Now, there are some bad companies out there, but let's just say they joined a good company and they blame the company. They blame their upline. They blame this, they blame that. The truth is they quit. Your company doesn't fire you, right? So we're going to give them examples. We're going to tell them you can do a live video, curiosity post, all the things we've covered. Give them examples of posts they can put up on their wall. It's really important to identify people that are doing things the right way and acknowledge those people, use those individuals as examples. So you can have a lot of this in your 24-hour getting started checklist. You can give them the training schedule. Like we do a weekly Saturday team call. We have different leaders that run the call. We highlight different leaders that are up and coming, success stories, etc. We have our monthly kickoff call. And then of course you want to promote the big events, right? Whether it's a virtual event, an in-person event. Listen, until someone goes to one of the big company events, they're not really in. Like they're in the company, but the company's not in them yet. You follow me? So the process is you're onboarding that new person with unit number 1. Now we do have other units. We have a lot more units, but we're all about unit 1. Again, trying to alleviate the overwhelm. So unit 1, then we're giving them like the daily framework, a lot of what we covered in the first 3 modules, the weekly training schedule, because you want to keep them close to the fire.
Yes.
Right? You notice when people are struggling, they're frustrated.
They're in the woods, baby.
They're in the woods. They're cold, right? The problem is they're not plugged in. Whenever someone reaches out, I'm struggling. I'm like, are you getting on the Saturday team calls? Nope. Shocker.
Right?
They're like, well, I'm busy on Saturdays. I'm like, that's why we record them, right? You can't make money and make excuses. Choose wisely. Now, of course, I'm much nicer to them than I'm being with you right now because I'm talking to you in a group setting. This isn't a one-on-one conversation. I'm a little nicer, I promise, as a leader, as a mentor. But the truth is, the people that are struggling, they're not doing the work. I'm like, remember what you were doing when you were new? They're like, yeah. I'm like, you doing that? No. Because in the beginning, they were ignorance on fire. Now they're knowledge on ice, overthinking, worried about what people think and say, right? And by the way, I see some questions coming through. Just hold your questions till the end. We'll do our best to answer them. I also see our team is answering some questions, but at the end, we'll definitely do some Q&A. Leadership development is really where you want to get to. You want to develop yourself, obviously. I'm always a work in progress. Just ask Nadia.
Yeah.
Just ask Nadia. One thing that we've realized over the years,
this is a joke comment.
We're always
Disclaimer.
working on me.
That's right, baby.
One of my favorite comedians said that. I thought it was so funny. So we're always working on developing ourselves as leaders, and then of course, leading by example and developing others. And you know, it's interesting. I hear a lot of leaders say this, and I don't want to knock what they're saying because I agree with them, but you'll hear people say, oh, I develop leaders. I make millionaires and all this. And it's like, I just don't agree with that. And what I mean by this, I have millionaires in my organization. I have people that make multiple 6 and 7 figures. I have, people that I mentor, but they develop themselves. Nobody developed me. Yeah, I had mentors. No one made me a freaking millionaire. I'll tell you that right now, except me. Did people help me along the way? Sure. But so that's the job of a leader. Are you really a leader if you're only leading yourself? Now, of course, you got to start with yourself. I get that. But leadership is a choice. It's a decision. And you say, hey, I'm going to become a leader. A leader isn't about title, by the way. But if you're a true leader, your goal is to create other leaders in network marketing. And that happens through events, through example, through culture. And how do you really motivate those teammates, right? How do you motivate people? Leading by example. I'll tell you one thing to motivate your team is to start new teams.
Yeah.
I out-recruited everybody on my team last month. Last year, I was number 4. I did have 3 people beat me. But I'll tell you, I enrolled 2 of those people that beat me. So that's okay. All right. So I'm always leading by example. Now, I'm not expecting you to always be a top recruiter, but it's really tough to get to that next level with your existing team.
Yeah.
It's very unlikely. I want you to pay attention to this statement. It's highly unlikely you're going to get to that next rank in your company with your existing team. That's right, Eric. You can't build someone else's belief for them. You can pour into someone. They can borrow your belief. But at the end of the day, in order to develop leaders, in order to create that synergy within your organization where people are stepping up and becoming independent. Hello, isn't that what we really want? How many of us smash the hard button if what you really want is independence? You want people that are winning with or without you. You want people that are growing businesses with or without you. And I'm blessed. I got some of the best leaders in network marketing. I mean, I've got Amber DeLoof within my organization, Bryn Lang, Shiloh Ekstrom, Brandy Sonoto, Brandon Forbes. Like, all these rock stars, Tanya, Eliza, Julie Burke. I mean, when you have a Marina Simone in your organization, you have a Bryn Lang, you have, a Tanya, Eliza, like they don't need you to motivate them. They're already motivated. You understand? Right? Jen Cooper doesn't need me to motivate her. Julie Reynolds doesn't need me to motivate her. They're already motivated, right? They're going to do what they're going to do. Now, I can inspire them through my actions, through my support, through my relationship with them, but I'm not like messaging him in the morning like, hey, what are you doing today? Where you at? What are you doing? Are you busy? Are you working? No, God, no. I'm not hitting up Rena Zaharov like, what'd you do this week? Right? Like I'm there for her, but I'm not all managing her and telling her what to do, right? They're independent of me, right? That's what you're looking for. The people within Aaron Birch, Sandy Humple, some of the people on my team that are the lowest maintenance are some of my best leaders. How many of us want people that are high production and low maintenance? I mean, hello. It's kind of funny, right? It's like, holy crap. Yeah, dude. I want people that are high production, low maintenance, but also, you ever heard that quote? Check on your strong friend. Check on your strong friend. The only thing I'll say about this, though, is sometimes we take those people for granted. Yeah. We take a Mindy Baxton for granted, right? We take someone that's on our team that's like a stud, a rock star, and then we just like never talk to them, never reach out because they're like, oh, they're good. No. Never
compliment them.
Yeah. Right. Never shout them out. Like I try to shout out leaders and stay in touch. Now, it is tough. I will say the bigger your team gets, the harder this is. But my God, you know how hard it is to come by a leader? Please don't take them for granted. Never take them for granted, but start new teams, recognize what you want repeated, create incentives, giveaways, challenges. Yeah. Like we have the 100 box challenge, the 5-day ATM challenge. We do referral post giveaways. We just gave away a Peloton last night. Now, I always get people that are like, I don't have money for a Peloton. I'm trying to future pace. I'm trying to paint a vision. Yeah. We've been doing this 19 years. If you're in your chapter 4, I'm in chapter 19. That could seem discouraging. That's like a 4-year-old that just started playing baseball. They are comparing themselves to a 19-year-old that's playing in college. You don't do that. You don't do that here either. So these documents are a part of the ATM Business Academy. So if you're a part of our academy, you can print these off and you could even use these types of challenges for your own organization. How many of us would be excited about that? That's right, April. High production, low maintenance. But just because someone's low maintenance doesn't mean you never communicate with them. You just assume they're good, because that would also be a disservice to them, right? They might need you, but they just don't want to be that type. They're a very independent person. How many of us, maybe because of our upbringing, because of our environment, our parents, whatever, like we're that type of personality where it's like we almost feel bad reaching out for help. It's funny, right? But some of those are your best people. Right. And then then there's some people, look, I love everybody. I really do. Because, hey, if you're a part of my team, I got your back. If you're a part of my business, if you're a friend, if you're a student, if you're in my network, right? All of you, we got your back. But you only have so much time. You only have so much energy. Who are you going to spend your time with? Someone that's high maintenance and low production? That's an interesting question, right? Obviously not. Like someone that's got a million questions, but they do nothing. Give them homework. Give them responsibility. Like, hey, you know what? I think we've talked about this before, right? Yeah, we have. Great. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go prospect 25 people, come back to me, and let me know how those conversations go. So that way they can't even reach out to you until they go and have those 25 conversations. Then the next time they reach out, you go, hey, did you go reach out to those 25 people yet? Like, no. Be like, okay, so before we answer that question, let's go do the 25. Like I had this guy reach out to me, and I hate throwing him under the bus because he's a really good guy, but he followed me for years. He was in lots of different companies, and he reached out. He wanted to join my team. I'm like, all right, that's cool. We had a good conversation. He got started, and he asked me all these questions. He's very analytical. And, in the beginning, I answered the questions the first month. You know how many people he introduced me to? Anybody want to take a wild guess?
0.
0 humans. He reaches out to me 3 months later. Hey, John, I'm ready. I'm ready to start building this. I'm like, that's awesome, dude. Let's get it. Let's do this. You know what he says? John, I need to understand, how do I get to 20,000 a month? Not a year, a freaking month. I'm like, bro, I love you, man. I would love to break that down, but I tell you what, Let's get you to 1,000 a month, and then I'll unlock that information for you. For now, I'm gonna keep it locked up. I'm gonna keep it close to the vest. But when you get to 1,000 a month, I'm gonna break it down for you. Meaning, go do the basics first.
Yeah.
Stop trying to leapfrog ahead. Like, why am I gonna waste all my time breaking down 20,000 a month when you've recruited 0 people? You've ATM'd 0 humans. You've got no customers. Capiche? Anyhow. Team power hours. This is a really great idea. Now, do you have to do team power hours? No, you don't have to do anything we're recommending. You also don't have to make money. But we went over that 60-minute daily fame tracker, the fame formula, where you can work your business in 60 minutes a day. Even if you work your business 3 hours a day, you should incorporate this training, this system. Infrastructure. Yeah. Nadia and her incredible language. Isn't it fascinating that Nadia speaks 2 languages? She's Russian, 2 and a quarter.
Spanish, don't forget.
Little Espanol, and she's so much smarter than me, even when it comes to English. It's embarrassing. Aww. But anyway, so anywho,
so sweet.
But it's also true. Do team power hours. Do these 60-minute sessions with your team on Zoom. Everybody could be muted. You're all working together, but together is better than by yourself. Yes,
that's right.
A lot of my leaders, they do these power hours daily or maybe just a couple times a week. Super powerful. You can have different leaders step up and host the power hours. Super cool.
All right, let's take a little break. How are you guys doing? Let us know in the comments. That is so good. I think, baby, you crushed it. If we're going to talk about it. And can you close that door?
I know.
I'm becoming cold. All right, you guys. So we're going to do a giveaway. Let's do a giveaway. Can you share with us in the comments below? What is your number 1 takeaway? What is your favorite idea that you heard that you're going to incorporate into your business? And again, I want to go back and ground you. I feel like that is my responsibility here as a trainer, is that, yes, we talked about how we have all of these systems right now and all of these, infrastructures built out, but we've been doing it for many, many, many years. So you can't expect to model all of these different things at once. So I want you to pick out one thing that you can put into play. Figure that out. For you, it could be that you just need to figure out unit 1. Maybe you're going to go create a simple system for a 24-hour getting started checklist and start out ugly. You can improve as you go. Another cool thing too is I really love, once I cultivate an idea, we instantly got to take action, right? You only are going to implement when you're in momentum. When energetically you're in momentum, you got to activate that and you got to put it into play. You can, you don't even have to get fancy with creating a PDF. You can go into a Facebook group and you can create a document right inside the group. So that way you can edit it. Other people can edit it with you and then put it into play and then see how it works. Is there any failure points in that document? Meaning, are people coming back to you and saying, wait, what does step number 2 mean? Does that make sense? So you're going to put it into play and then you're going to pivot. You're going to tweak it a little bit if necessary before you create an official document once you ironed it all out. So that's the process that we go through internally anytime we put out anything, right? I always want to put it out, just at least talk it out, put it out, get some feedback, tweak it, and then finalize it. Okay. All right. So let's do a giveaway. We're going to give away one of our amazing 90-day trackers. If you don't have one, I highly recommend you pick it up.
Get it.
Because inside of it, we have the daily activities tracker. We have the follow-up process. We have all of our different formulas that we teach. So it's kind of nice because it's all right here for you, right? But we're going to give, how many, baby, do you want to give away? I want you to be in charge of the giveaway.
Give away one. Let's move on.
Oh my gosh.
Always got to keep her on her toes.
Yes, indeed.
Edge of her seat. You know what I'm saying? No, we can do 3.
Okay, cool. Okay, go ahead, baby. You pick.
Okay, so ready?
While I talk. Yes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That person right there. Thekla. Did Thekla win yesterday, though?
I think she did. Hey, let us know if you won yesterday. I think she did. I remember her name. Do one more.
All right, ready? 5, 4, 3. I was just reading some of the comments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, hey, why not have two, right?
That's
You
true.
need that tracker. Get it, Samuel. All right, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Laura Amiva Olivares.
Yes.
Congratulations. Should we do one more?
Yeah, let's do it.
5, 4, 3, 2. Right there. That person. Oh, I don't know how to say her name.
I see Day. Oh, we butchered your name.
Ajade Gutierrez.
Oh my gosh, where are
Boom.
you from?
3
You gotta
winners.
let us know.
3 winners. And all you have to do is email support@mylifestyleacademy.com. Thecla, if you won yesterday, I mean, we could send her a second one. I don't know. I mean, that's fine with me.
Let's send you a Mister too.
There we go.
What do you think
there
about
we go.
that?
I'll send you a Mister instead. How about that? Because you probably don't want 2 trackers. I mean, I guess you could, but.
All right, that's awesome.
So you're going to email support@mylifestyleacademy.com and say, I was on the February 4th broadcast. I want a tracker. In fact, our team is on, so they may even respond to you.
Yes. Okay, cool.
Cool.
I love
Awesome.
it. And you guys, thank you so much
and
for
if you
sharing
wanted
your
a tracker,
takeaways.
you could see right there, take a screenshot, mylifestyleacademy.com/tracker. And thank you for
cool.
sharing. Yes.
Yeah.
It really helps us to know what's impacting you the most. So cool. Oh, Thecla did not win yesterday. Okay, great.
Oh, perfect.
I remember we shouted out your name, but it might have been for something totally different.
Yeah.
I think we were just like maybe answering one of her questions. So congratulations, Thecla. But if you guys could each email the support team, that would be awesome with your address, and we'll ship you that bad boy.
I love it. Okay, cool.
Well, Davin says she never wins anything, so let's let her win one too. We'll do a 4th one. Yeah. Davin, you just won.
Montrose.
Davin Montrose, you just won. No, the people are gonna try to say that. Sorry, just Davin. She was the first one to say it. She said, "I never win anything," with a sad face.
Oh no.
Then she did the.
But can we talk about this? This is actually, I'm glad you brought this up. But let us stop speaking death over ourselves.
That's right.
I think we can use it also as a beautiful teaching point that whatever you speak about, you bring about. I want you to switch that.
It's like when people say, I suck at recruiting. And it's like, shush.
No.
You don't say this.
Don't.
How about this?
Think it.
My team is dead.
Oh, please.
Horrible. Never say that. Hey, at least you have a team.
Oh my gosh.
How many people don't even have a team? So hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah. So law of attraction, y'all, is alive and well. It's like law of gravity. Doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. Step off the building. The law doesn't care, right? So, but law of attraction, I think, especially as we're looking to elevate our leadership, there's a couple of things that are so very key. One of them being emotional intelligence. Another big thing would be the things that you speak into existence. You got to be really careful what you speak over yourself, over your spouse, over your children. Don't you ever de-edify your loved ones in public, your team in public. If you're going to speak, you better speak life. You better future pace, right? You better future pace, because whether you believe it or not, you are already in a fishbowl. Remember that one analogy? You're in a fishbowl, meaning everything you do, people are watching you, even though they might not necessarily follow you right away.
That's right.
But the minute you take a stand and you join a business and you start to, build a customer base, you're showing up on social media, you're now in a glass bowl. So you really have to kind of like tighten up your game, please, if you needed to hear that little bit of brainwashing. But emotional intelligence, we got to, master up the people skills. And for the love of all things holy, we got to speak things into existence that we actually want to attract.
Yeah, like don't say the word BROKE. That's one of the worst ones.
Please. All right, so let's go ahead and shift gears a little bit. Let's get into the duplication secrets, because in network marketing, it's not about what works. It's all about what duplicates.
Amen.
Okay. So let's talk about a couple different things that we do that are super effective. And remember, anytime you're in doubt, I want you to ask yourself, is my business you dependent or me dependent, or is my business system dependent? So how can we create those infrastructures, those little tools for duplication and for people to plug in?
Like, here's a great example. How many of us have people on our teams that have questions? Sometimes you don't know the answer to the questions. I'll have people often, I am not a health expert, but I have a lot of health experts on my team. Like, they know the products way better than I do. It's fantastic having support chats because someone will pop into a chat. Let's say it's 11 o'clock at night. Now, maybe they're on the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast. I'm in bed watching a movie or even sleeping. They pop into the chat. They ask a question. Hey, is this product great for this? Or I got a question about that. Or it could have nothing to do with health. It could have nothing to do with the products. It could be about their back office. It could be their credit card declined on something or their customers having issues with the website. They pop into the support chat and can ask a question, and someone else that's not a part of their upline lineage, that's sidelined to them, hops in there and helps them. Like that is one of the things that I freaking love about using Facebook Messenger for team chats. And I'm very clear that this is a support chat. It's for questions, announcements, communication, conversation, positivity, not for complaints.
So a little bit of discernment. Okay. So this is different than doing the group chat with your prospects.
Exactly.
Okay. So let me just make sure that we are all on the same page. Okay?
This is a support chat for people that have joined the team.
Yes.
Where we add all the new social marketers, representatives, distributors, ambassadors, affiliates, whatever your company calls the people on the team, right? The people that are within the organization that are making money. We add all of them to a chat. Now,
how many people can be?
I was going to say,
chat?
I'll say this: you max out at about 240 people in the chat. So over time, you'll probably have to start additional chats. But what happens is we also get leaders that step up and start their own team support chats for the new people, the new marketers that are coming on board. It's so important to have support chats. So that is very different than when we talk about group chats with prospects, right? A group chat's only a few people, right? 3, 5, 6, 7 people. This is, and that's just with one prospect. Right. This is for people after they've already joined the team. Now they're a part of the team chat, so they can, ask questions, reach out for support. They can share one of their posts that they want to get boosted. I will say this: please don't ever have your team like share a curiosity post and then ask for people to act like they're interested. Never do that. That is just bad integrity. Like, oh, what's this product? Where can I buy it? Like, dude, that's not okay. Like, I'll drop some like excitement emojis, or I'll drop like, oh, I love these products, but I'm not going to say, hey, I'm interested, acting like a lead. Like, that's lying. Okay. So just, anyway, I went on a rant there about that. But inside these support chats, people are sharing their like first curiosity post, their welcome post. Super awesome for creating culture, support, all the things, especially because, let's be honest, how many of us have been enrolled by somebody that quit? Have you ever had someone join your team? They enrolled a bunch of people, then they quit. But their team now has other people they can network with within that chat to work with, even if their own upline quit, their own sponsor quit. Then you have leadership chats. Okay. You can determine when you want to create a leadership chat. Like, do you really need a leadership chat if you only have like 3 leaders on your team? I mean, I guess you could, but at some point as your team gets bigger and you have more and more up and coming leaders, it's really powerful to have a leadership chat. But again, we keep it positive. You don't have complaints in there. You can ask questions. You might have a concern about something, but you want to be very clear that it's for support, communication. Again, I love the sideline leaders that connect with one another inside of these leadership chats, work together. Someone pops in there and asks a question on the weekend. I don't see it, but someone else is in that chat helping them out. And the thing is, one of the things that's important to think about, there's going to be times where you're struggling with the situation and you need help. Then there's going to be times where you're the one providing the help. Something to think about. So never say, well, that person's not on my team. Yeah. Never say, well, that, like, I could probably help, but like, I don't make money from this person. That's a terrible mentality, because if everybody helps everybody, the rising tide raises all the ships. That's right. And you really should shout out and acknowledge people that are that supportive, that helpful, that are helping people that aren't even a part of their team. Those are my favorite people to work with. The givers, not the takers. I love it. Okay, a couple of other ideas for you to help you create those opportunities for people to plug in together, right? And remember, if there's the one takeaway that you grabbed from today's session,
is recognize what you want repeated.
Boom.
So never ever take it for granted when you do have those people that are so responsive, they're so supportive. Their spiritual gifting is to encourage, is to provide
Right.
answers, right? Always give those people a shout out, recognize what you want repeated, recognize what you want to improve also.
By the way,
okay.
can I also point this out? There's
Yeah.
people commenting that their sponsor quit. Like Craig says, my sponsor quit, then I blew up. Chanel says, the young that recruited me, probably the guy that recruited me, quit, and my husband and I became regional vice presidents.
That's
so
awesome.
so this is the thing, right? It's not like you need your sponsor. Now we think this when we're new. Does it help? Of course.
Yeah.
Of course it helps. I guarantee Chanel and Craig and anybody else that has a similar story, they probably bend over backwards helping their people, because they know what it was like to struggle. They know what it was like to not have an upline. Like, I know that I'm going to be there for my team because I remember what it was like to have an upline that wasn't there for me. However, with that being said, do you need an upline?
No.
You really don't. You really be the leader you wish you had.
Right. Right.
Sorry about that. I just had
No,
to
I
point
love
that out because I thought it was great that multiple people are like, I blew up when my upline quit. And it's
That's
true.
so good.
It's true. Like, I feel bad for all of our upline from previous companies and over the years, because like they know how well we're doing, and they know that if they would have just stuck
around.
I mean,
I know.
That's why you just stay in long enough. Okay, young lady. Okay, got it. You just stay in long enough to be successful. The only people that fail are the ones that quit, y'all. If you ever meet a network marketing failure, they're confused. You didn't fail, you quit. You gave up.
Yep.
So anyway, don't be a fool. Create a tool. FAQs, units, PDFs, video tutorials. You get the same question over and over again. People have questions about how to build their team, like, the structure. They got advanced questions on like social media, creating curiosity, like create trainings inside your units, create resources, PDFs, all the things, the weekly team training call. Here's what I think a weekly call should cover, whether it's a Zoom, whatever it is. You should have new people you're highlighting every week, having them share their stories and what they're doing to create success.
And these could be small stories. Sometimes those are more powerful.
Or like a slow story. They were in for 2 years before they finally started growing.
Yes.
I think it's so important to represent every type of person, right? Like acknowledge all types. Customer getters, team builders, fast success, slow success. Because we're not going to not recognize fast success stories. But if all you do is recognize fast success, guess what? You're discouraging the majority of people, because most people don't have fast success.
Yeah, fast success is an exception, not the rule. So what's very, very normal is for somebody to take time to figure it out. It takes time to, I think the hardest journey, right, John? See if you agree with me on this one, is $0-$1,000 in network marketing. It's the hardest.
It's really hard.
The hardest.
Because you have zero belief.
Right.
You have zero clue if you're good. Like, how many people have you seen over the years that had huge potential, but they gave up because they just had a fear of rejection, a fear of failure, a fear of looking silly. They didn't like being made fun of, right? Some of their friends, you're in a pyramid thing. You're right. And they quit. They get blown out.
Yeah.
They couldn't pass the test. Like I mentioned in a previous module, can't have a testimonial if you're never tested.
Right. That's good.
People want the glory without the story, y'all.
Right.
So how to build stability. Treat every new team member as if they're going to be a future top earner, or they might quit tomorrow.
That's right.
Your goal is to help them enroll their first customer, help them enroll a teammate ASAP. The sooner you get them documented, the sooner you get them a check. Just a check. It doesn't have to be a lot, $20. It's like, it's working. It's real. They can tell people, yes, I made money.
Yes.
How much did you make? You wouldn't believe me if I told you. Or, I used to always say, not enough. How much are you making? Not enough. I'm still working. Not enough.
Yeah.
Taproting, working on the bottom. Working on the bottom. Why? Because you're the fisherman. You're the one invested in this course. You're a freaking leader, right? And I don't care if it's a binary, unilevel, a matrix, a trinary, like all these complex. Working on the bottom, meaning working with the newest people coming into your business.
Don't become a manager.
Don't become a manager. How much do managers make in the real world? Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. So work on the bottom. You create layered leadership. Now, I will say this, as you grow in your leadership, your business is getting quite large, at some point, you're probably going to have legs where like you really don't work with the new people at all. You're working with like the leaders in that team. So at some point, instead of like taprooting new people, you're taprooting leaders. So like I have some
Define
legs.
taprooting, please.
I have some legs where I'm tapping the root, right? I'm working on the bottom, meaning I'm in conversation with all the new people. Because it's a small team, it's underdeveloped, there's no leaders there. Like, so I'm the leader for everyone. I'm working with everyone as if I personally enrolled all of them. But then I have teams that have like multiple 6 and even maybe a couple 7-figure earners in there. Those teams, I'm not as proactively taprooting. I'm not like proactively taprooting, but I'm working in depth because maybe I built a relationship with like a key leader. It could be so deep that I don't even get paid anything on that team, but it's just a great leader that's easy to work with, that I'll help them out because they help out the rest of the team and they're a good person. I'm never going to penalize someone just because they're too deep in my team.
That's so good.
But I'm also very conscious of like, those are the easiest people to work with. They have the most appreciation for you because they know you don't make as much money. They know there's tons of other leaders in between you and them. So as much as I want to work with them more, I also realize and acknowledge I got to go build other teams. I can't get too comfortable working with the easy teams. Does that make some sense? There's some teams where it's like, oh, it's such an easy team to work with. Everybody knows how to edify. Everybody knows how to close. Everybody knows how to do all the things, the onboarding. All I got to do is show up and look pretty and smile, right? And talk, say a couple things. But to be honest, those are the teams that they need the least amount of help. Right? So you got to have some clarity on that. Taprooting, working on the bottom. They also call it leapfrogging in some companies. Essentially, where do you start a fire? From the bottom. How many of you ever started a campfire? Do you start on top? No, you started on the bottom. And when you drive depth, let's say you got a leg that's 10 levels deep. Like imagine if I was on your 10th level and I'm crushing it. How motivated are you and the other 9 people above me? How motivated are you and the other 9 people in between you and me? So if you're here and I'm on level 10 and I'm killing the game, the other 9 people are going to go build those other lines because they're so fired up and they have so much FOMO. You get it? And then we could talk about width versus depth as simply as this. Width builds wealth. Depth builds stability. People say, should I focus on sponsoring new teams or working in depth? Why do you have to choose?
I know.
Why do you have to say
and life?
Exactly. Why do you have to have an or life?
Right.
Right? This or that. This or that, right? You don't have to do this or that. You do both, right? Should I be a good parent or should I make $1 million? Why can't you do both? You get it?
That's right. That's why you're here, right? That's why you're watching.
That's
we
right.
got to figure out how to do both. It's possible.
And then here's some of the things you could do in your training group as well. You can go live and interview teammates. You could also do this in your ATM group, by the way. You can do this in your ATM group. You can do this in your training group, have them share tips and ideas. Like there's people that still tag their contacts, still tag their new people in videos that were done years ago. You could post leaderboards. People will die for recognition. You know, recognizing people that are acquiring customers, recognizing top recruiters, recognizing people that rank advanced. You could do this throughout the month, weekly, monthly, whatever. Introduce incentives, raffles. You can recognize people that are doing the most ATMs. They're getting up the most referral posts. Whoever creates the most new volume for the week wins a trip to Mexico, whatever. Now, some of these things are more expensive. You could also do things for free. Like, hey, anyone that gets a new customer in the next 2 weeks gets on a special leadership Zoom. All you do is get one customer and you get invited.
Awesome. I love that.
So get creative with this. Write down some ideas. You can invite guest trainers. Like we've got Rob Sperry doing training in our team group tonight, right? We've got Ray Higdon, Bob Heilig, Shalene Johnson. You know, we'll get other leaders, you know, within the team to do trainings in the group, you know, leaders that are teaching the whole team, you know, so maybe I have an elite leader here that has their own team group, but we'll have them do a live in the bigger team group because they're just a rock star and they deserve the recognition. They're crushing it on TikTok or Instagram, or they're crushing it with selling, recruiting, whatever. Get your teams to share what's working. I do this all the time. I'm sharing people that are crushing it with their stories, or crushing it with a Facebook curiosity post or Facebook Live, TikToks that are blowing up. I'm always sharing those. Just think outside the box. Don't be afraid to experiment and do more of what works and eliminate what doesn't. With that being said, don't eliminate things because you tried it for like a week. I did TikToks for a week. I didn't generate leads or any sales. Bruh, it's been a week.
Yeah.
Give it a little time.
Yeah.
Got to nurture that skill set, but you got to treat your business like a business. Track your numbers. Something I do every night before bed, I take a screenshot of my volume. And then I really pay attention, write this down. I really pay attention to where I'm at on the 7th of the month, the 14th of the month, the 21st of the month, and the last day of the month. And then I can go back and look at previous years. So like this January, our organization did a significantly higher amount than we've ever done in any January. But being truthful, we did a couple million more in November. So November is always our biggest month for our company, for our team. We did a couple million more in November than we did in January. Now, that could be discouraging to someone that doesn't track their numbers and hasn't been around for a while. But for me, I go, hey, that's every year. Every year I anticipate November is the biggest, but January is always bigger than the previous January.
Yeah.
December is never as good as November, obviously. But this December was bigger than any other December we've ever had. In fact, this December was bigger than any month we had in the prior year.
Wow.
But I wouldn't have known that if I didn't track my numbers.
Cool.
Does that help you a little bit? This will be an indicator also when you should run promotions. Like how many of us notice maybe your business takes a dip on the weekends or during holidays? That's a great time to do a promotion. Smart. Because you know that numbers are down, but production might go up a little bit if you have a promo, a giveaway, an incentive. And there should be a lot of emphasis on customer acquisition. Our last company got shut down by the FTC, y'all. We got shut down by the FTC. So we know what it's like to have that happen to you. And those of you asking how you can get the replays and pay for the academy, it's in the comments, but it's just mylifestyleacademy.com/live offer. If you scroll up, you can actually see it in the comments multiple times. But you don't want the FTC knocking. If you have just a focus on recruiting recruiters to recruit recruiters, that's a problem. That is a major problem. For us, I'm telling you, the reason we brought on 9,200 new distributors last year and 163,000 new customers. That is a 17-to-1 customer to rep ratio. That's the kind of business you want.
Yeah.
That's what you want. Why? Because that means you can build a smaller team and make more money with less people. And you have more people making money. I would say to have at least a 10-to-1 customer to rep ratio. That would be my goal if I were you. Now, when we get into team culture, you really want culture to feel like a family-like environment, because people will quit on a business faster than they'll quit on a friend. They'll quit on a mentor. When someone believes in them, like I guarantee the reason I had bad retention back in the day, because I treated people like a number. It's like, what do you do? What did you do for me recently? Because that's how my upline treated us. That's what it was all about. It was all about production. Yeah. It was all about recognizing the people working the deal. So you want to create a culture where everyone has value. Everyone's appreciated. Now, again, you got to protect your time. You can only put so much time and energy into people. You're going to work with the people that are the most serious, the most committed. You're not going to take those people for granted, but you have to find ways to incorporate the 80%ers. How many of us ever heard the Thompson rule? Larry and Taylor Thompson are two of the absolute legends in this profession. We were doing a clubhouse yesterday and Taylor was on and I was talking about how, they were at 7 figures before I even knew what network marketing was.
Wow.
They were already at 7 figures. And they created this Thompson rule where 80% of the people on your team, they just want to make part-time income. They just want to make extra money. That's their desire level.
And they want to be a part of something.
Yeah, they want to be a part of something. Like, they want to make some.
They want to meet friends. They want to associate. Right. They want to laugh. They want to bring joy.
They're not trying to do this full time, at least not yet.
Yeah.
Their goals can change down the road. But if the 80%ers are valued and they feel like they have a seat at the table, you're going to have way better retention. Then you have the 15%ers. They want a full-time income. Then you got, they'd say 5%. Right? Maybe they want to make 6 figures. And I look at it like 4 and 1. I think there's the 1% that are the crazy ones.
Yeah.
They're like us. Yeah. Hashtag obsessed. right? Your obsessions become your possessions.
Love that.
So if you're obsessed like us, smash that heart button. Let us know in the comments. Like, I am extremely passionate about this, obviously. But I think ultimately the majority of people getting started, just like when we first got started,
Yeah.
like, yes, it's like, oh, I'd love to make 10,000 a month. Oh, I'd love to own my own island. Like all these things. And when you're new, you're like, yeah, let's be millionaires. But the truth is, I just wanted to make enough to not have to wait tables.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to make my money back in that
Mhm.
first month. Like, it's just like, can I just make my $50 back? I didn't have enough money to buy product.
Yeah. And also it's good for you leaders. Be watching what your people are doing.
Yeah.
Be watching what they're doing. Yes, you want to hear them, but also are they backing it up with action?
Right. 100%.
Love that.
So run with the runners, walk with the walkers, crawl with the crawlers, and don't make anyone feel bad for how slowly they're building. If they don't have a high desire level, awesome. Like, that's one of the things with our culture. And I think a lot of you that are leaders in other companies, like, you get it. Like, you know the importance of the 80%. It's kind of like the gym, right? How many people have a gym membership but never go?
Mm-hmm.
The gym still cashes the check every month. Sounds funny, cashing a check. Like, who really pays with checks anymore?
Yeah.
But the gym doesn't say, hey, we're gonna go ahead and cancel your membership, Kate, because you never come. No, they're gonna keep the money. Every month they're gonna charge your credit card. They don't care if you show up. They want you to, but they're not gonna make you feel bad like, Kate, when's the last time you were here? Last time I saw you was last year. Like, wow, welcome back, loser, right? You'd be canceling that membership in a hot second.
That's awesome.
So here's the truth. If someone joins the gym and they never show up,
Mm-hmm.
are you cool with that? Yeah, you're cool with that. They run their smart ship, their auto delivery every month. They're buying products. They're promoting the products once in a while. Great. Why make them feel bad? And by the way, if those people quit, is it the gym's fault? No.
That's right.
If people quit your team, it's not your fault. You can't make anyone successful. You can give them suggestions, provide value, advice, direction. You can't make them do the work. And another thing that we do a lot of, we have a lot of uniting amongst cross-line. We have a lot of our leaders that work together that don't benefit from each other financially. It's so much easier to work with people that have the same goals, same ambition, but for some reason, when you don't make money on them, it's like a different relationship. Now, I feel like I have a really good relationship with my leaders, but I know that sometimes there's just that awkward energy where it's like, you want your upline to do more for you, or you want your downline to do more because, you want to get to that next level. In order for you to get there, they have to get there. And listen, you can have phenomenal relationships with upline, downline, but there's something to be said about having a relationship with a sideline brother or sister where you can compete with each other. You kind of like, raise each other's like excitement and enthusiasm and competitive juices, but you do it together, helping each other with that abundant mentality of like, if you win, it doesn't mean I'm losing. It's like, let's work together. Let's run an ATM group together. Let's run a challenge together. Let's do some trainings together. Let's do some stuff together. Let's challenge each other. Let's hold each other accountable. So if you say, well, my upline sucks, they don't even use social media. Great. Find some sideline brothers and sisters to work with. Like, some of the best relationships I've had over the years have actually been from sideline. Some of the greatest relationships within our own organization are sideline leaders working together. So that's pretty sweet.
I love it. And save the drama for your mama. I love this one. Sometimes there will be people that you're just going to have to pull to the side and talk a little bit about, hey, if you have a situation, right? There's like a product situation or whatever, just, there's customer support, just come to me. We want to really cleanse the synergy of the group. It's like, if you go to a party, right? And there's one negative person and they stay in the corner all night long. But if there's a camera and that camera only records the one person that's not having a good time, your perception is, wow, this party sucks. So we want to put the light, we want to put the emphasis, we want to be recording and showcasing things that are uplifting people. Look, just know that there are going to be some people that join your team culture and they feel like their responsibilities to find the problems. And look, Entrepreneur. Let us define what an entrepreneur is, please. I have to remind sometimes to people around me, right? But a definition of an entrepreneur is somebody who solves problems at a profit.
Ooh.
And there's no perfect company, y'all.
And let's be clear, profits.
For
Not
profits.
wages.
Yes.
Wages is like I go to work, I get paid. I get paid hourly or salary.
Yeah. So what happens is, I don't care what company we examine under the microscope. This could be Apple, this could be Tesla, this could be your network marketing company specifically. You can have the best concept on the planet, but I learned over my couple decades of being an entrepreneur is anytime you put people into the mix, things are going to get messed up.
Right.
There's things that are going to get messed up at the corporate office.
Right.
Mistakes are going to happen. Things are going to come up. Situations come up. So our job as a team, right? The culture that we want to develop is, look, problems are going to happen. So how do we show up to solve those problems?
Right. And it's so easy to be a problem identifier instead of a problem solver, right? Offer solutions. Like if you see a problem, offer a solution instead of just pointing out the problems. Look at this and look at that. This doesn't work. That doesn't work. Like, great job. And do you have something of value to share? Are you a thermometer or are you a thermostat? See, the thermostat just tells you.
Yeah.
The thermometer just tells you the temperature of the room. The thermostat can change the temperature of the room. They can change the temperature of the conversation.
Now that is interesting.
Absolutely. That's why I opened the door earlier.
So when
I was hot and bothered. When we turn those lights on, man, I'm like, gotta open the door. Yeah. It's a little cold outside.
So when you walk into the room, when you walk into any
conversation,
situation, any conversation, are you uplifting or are you a depression session?
Right. Are you like, but you know what's interesting?
Yeah.
Because I like this first one. When everyone else is stressed, you're calm.
I like that.
But I want to say this. This is an interesting dynamic that I just had pop into my brain. Y'all are going to love this. See, those of you that stay on to the end, you always get some of the best nuggets.
Indeed.
When someone reaches out to me complaining, I am calm, but I'm understanding where they're coming from. And when they're elevated and they're pissed off, I don't try to keep them calm. And let me explain what I mean. If someone reaches out to me, they're like, dude, the freaking website, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, are you kidding me? That is annoying. That pisses me off too. Let's try to figure this out together. Let me send a message to corporate. And they're like, thank you. Why? Because I'm hearing them. I understand. I know why they're pissed. And I don't say, whoa, chill. Because I tell you what, that's how you lose good people. That is exactly how you lose really good people. I've lost some great people over the years because I try to defend the company. I try to defend, like, relax. You know, people always love when you tell them to relax, right? Don't people just love that? Hey, can you relax? Like, I'm actually more pissed off now. So
pouring gasoline on the fire.
Exactly. I always let people vent to me. Some people just want to be heard.
Yeah.
I learned that years ago when I would deal with mortgage clients, pissed off about this, pissed off about that. I'm like, dude, that is annoying. You're right.
Yeah.
Because if someone agrees with you, now some of you are probably smiling. You're like, oh shit, that is good, right? If someone agrees with you, like let's say someone trashes your business, that's a scam. You might be right. I hope it's not, because I'm really excited about it. I'm putting a lot of time into this thing. I hope it's not a scam. They're like, yeah, you should be careful. Like, thank you. They're like, damn, like, isn't it hard to like be rude to somebody like that? Now, if someone's taking personal shots at you, that's different.
That's right.
Like there was some YouTuber trying to talk smack. I was having so much fun with these people and their comments. Now, of course, they probably knew I was being a little sarcastic and condescending, but that's okay because I like to have fun. Anytime there's a situation like that where someone's coming at me, guns a-blazing, if it's someone on my team, I'm like, you're right, that is frustrating. If it's someone that's like a hater, a naysayer, right? I kill them with kindness or I have a little fun with them. I tease them a little bit. I can't help myself. The point is, when everyone else is stressed, you're calm. When everyone else is out of gas, you inject more fuel. You're the leader. You are the thermostat, not the freaking thermometer. You're a leader, not a follower. You're a winner, a warrior, not a whiner. When everyone else doesn't know what to do next, you lead by example. You show them what to do next. Be slow to get offended, but be quick to forgive. Be the bigger person and don't hold grudges.
Love
This
it.
is true leadership. Consistent, effective communication. You're going to have some tough conversations sometimes, but I got to tell you, there's a lot of opinions on this.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to like the How to Win Friends and Influence People way of doing things. How many of you read How to Win Friends and Influence People?
Bonus homework, by the way.
I've never read it.
Haven't.
I've never read it, but I listened to it multiple times back in the day. I'm not a reader. If you know me, I don't like to read unless it's reading your comments, reading my messenger messages, but reading books, not for me. I like listening to podcasts. I like listening to Audible, where the narrator or somebody narrates. Sometimes the author is the narrator, which I love, like Frederick Eklund or Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yes.
But I'm totally fine with someone else I don't know narrating the book that someone else wrote, but I'd rather they read it to me versus me having to read it to me. Anyway, I like the never criticize mentality. I don't like to be criticized. So it's interesting because there are leaders out there that train on giving people some constructive criticism. And I understand their point, but it's a slippery slope. If you're like, man, that last post was kind of brutal. Next time do this, next time do that. When people reach out like, hey, what would you do differently? You can give them feedback. But when you criticize, I mean, if you read or listen to How to Win Friends and Influence People, they pretty much sum it up. If you were to listen to the whole thing, there's a lot of great tips and advice, but they essentially sum it up that it's never a good time to criticize. Sorry, we have someone at our front door. There's never value in criticizing someone. So you're gonna have to manage different personalities. You're gonna have to manage different commitment levels. But I love what Gary Vee says about this. Gary Vee straight up says, he's like, listen, kindness is how I mentor. Now, of course, they will absolutely fire someone. They will absolutely get rid of people that aren't doing the job, right? Because they're in corporate America. But his point is, he's like, I'd always rather take the path of kindness versus criticism. Because most people, they're beat down by their parents, their boss, their husband, their wife, their friends, their coworkers, or they beat down themselves. I want to uplift people. And it's something I have to be honest. Back in the day, I was criticized quite a bit by my upline. So that's what I did with my downline. I was very critical to them. And I just realized I don't like how it feels. I want to coach people. There is a fine line there. I want to coach people. I want to give them advice, but I do it with kindness. I do it with humor. I give them advice, but I'm not critical. Do you understand the difference? I hope this helps you a little bit. I have credits I haven't used yet. What's your favorite to listen to? I would listen to How to Win Friends and Influence People. Also, Think and Grow Rich is a good one. That's a classic. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a good one. Those are all classics. Now, of course, there's, Brendan Burchard, Tony Robbins. I mean, there's so many good books out there. Nadia, can we get Toby somewhere else? Because that bark is loud, loud, loud. That's right, Natasha. Upliftment. Is that a word? Upliftment. Yeah, it is now. But there's going to be people that are very aggressive, very eager, in your face. Maybe they're from Jersey. I'm from Maryland, so I like to make fun of Jersey people because as aggressive as Maryland people can be, Jersey and New Yorkers, they're even more aggressive. But does this make sense? You're going to get some people that are just, they're more passive. They're more reserved, right? You're going to get people that are very analytical. Now, I'll tell you, analyticals drive me crazy sometimes, but I love the heck out of them. Why? Because when I get a good analytical on my team, once they've got all their questions answered, now they're the best at answering questions from other analyticals. Then you get the whale, the passive that just, they don't care about money. They just want to be a part of something. They want to love on people. You have to talk to a whale differently than a shark, right? You got to talk to a dolphin likes to have fun. If they're not having fun, they'll quit in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. You want to also, as a leader, identify upcoming talent, people that are working the deal, people that need the support, people that, Karen, you know what I'm talking about. You're a Jersey girl. You know what I'm talking about. No, but us East Coasters, right? We're in your face, tell me like it is. Say it like it is. Or I'll tell you like it is. And it's good. It's great. I love it. But at the end of the day, we can all appreciate there's different personalities, different commitment levels. We have to know who we're talking to. We don't want to blow out a really good person just because our personality, our commitment level is much more significant than theirs. So build relationships is something we talk about often. Don't get too familiar. Back in the day, We would work with some people where this back in my drinking days, I haven't drank in 12, 13 years now. But back in my drinking days, I'd go hang out in my downline. We go have some drinks. We go get after it. All respect out the window. If they see you with a lampshade on your head once, all respect out the window. Now, it's good to be authentic and be real and all that. But remember, you're a mentor. You're a leader. You're representing a company. You're representing a company. People talk so much about authenticity, but it's still important to have manners and be classy, not trashy. Don't be like, listen, if you were to hang out with me, you probably notice I swear here and there, but I don't swear in video. I'm not swearing in my team chats, and I try to keep it as professional as possible. I'm friends with you, but if I get too close to you, I lose the influence, right? So there's that fine line, like I talked about before. You have to figure this out for yourself. But I've seen some really good businesses fall apart because people got too familiar, right? Allow others to step up and create independence. This is so important. This is why we highlight leaders all the time in our team. This is why we're always trying to put other people in the spotlight, give people opportunities to even fail sometimes. But I would rather see, the problem is when we start to achieve success and we figure things out, we don't want to let go of the control. We feel like we have to be doing all the presentations, all the trainings, all the things. And that's the worst thing you can do. It's okay if leaders step up and they mess it up, because that's the key to success. Isn't that how you figured out how to become a leader? Those of you that are leaders, you stepped it up and messed it up. It's okay. We have to give people those opportunities to mess things up, to get better. Here's another thing: humility during momentum. Don't get cocky, y'all. Pride comes before the fall. Your ego is not your amigo. Sometimes we become arrogant. And I tell you, this is why I'm glad, again, it took so long for me to be successful. I mentioned this before, because that experience helped me appreciate momentum. I know what it was like. I know how hard it was to get here. I know what it's like to struggle. So I have so much more appreciation for what I've created. And I don't take it for granted. And I know it's fragile. If you start ignoring your leaders and ignoring your business, I mean, what happens if you ignore your kids? What happens if you ignore your spouse? What happens if you ignore the people most important in your life? What happens with those relationships? Typically, they fall to the wayside. Yes. How about confidence during setbacks? Plot twist. Like, who goes and sees a movie with no problems, challenges, no plot twists? Like, everything's super predictable. Worst movie. You'll never watch it a second time. Yes. So when something bad happens, one of your leaders quits. Plot twist, right? Your own upline quits. Plot twist, your company gets shut down by the FTC. We were discouraged for about 24 hours. And we were like, sometimes our greatest disappointments are God's greatest appointments. It's a blessing in disguise. God has a bigger plan for us. Now, we didn't know if that meant maybe we're meant to be just trainers and coaches. We didn't know what it meant. But I tell you, one of the best things that ever happened to us is we had a company get shut down on us. I love the Rock story because he says one of the best things that can ever happen to you is a dream unrealized. Because he wanted to be a football player and he wasn't cut out for football. But The Rock ended up becoming a wrestler, which his dad was very against. His dad was super against it. If you ever heard his full story. And obviously he became one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And now he's like one of the most famous, celebrities, actors, right? I mean, his whole career is what it is today because he had a dream not realized. He did not become a pro football player. Now, is it possible he would have still had a great life as a football player? Sure, but it's highly unlikely he would have become the superstar actor that he is today. Although it's funny because some of my buddies are like, The Rock is the worst actor. They always make fun of Fast and Furious. But Nadia and I, we like the Fast and Furious movies.
Yes.
Anywho, everybody's got their opinion, right? You got to have confidence during setbacks. It's tough, I know, but these are the times you learn lessons. Like I had one of my top earners terminated years ago. That was brutal, but that was one of the best things that could have happened. Why? Because more people stepped up at that time. We had a company that came after us legally, wrongfully suing us for $2.5 million. That sucked. But you know what? Anytime I have lawsuits or, leaders that are in those situations, I can coach them through that. I can coach someone through losing a leader. I can coach someone through a company getting shut down. Why? Because I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. And this is why I became a student. This is why I built my brand. This is why I built relationships. This is why I worked on myself. This is why I studied other companies. I knew what to look out for. I knew why we got shut down with the FTC because I've been through it. Recognize what you want repeated and improved. Be a captain, not just a coach. How many of us are familiar with Derek Jeter? Now, see, I'm a Baltimore Oriole fan, so it's tough being an Oriole fan because they are always terrible. And even when they're halfway decent, they always lose to the Yankees. Derek Jeter, Derek Jeter's last at bat in the major leagues, he hit a walk-off single. A walk-off means he had the final at bat, the final hit to win the game against the Baltimore Orioles. Like literally his last at bat of his major league career was against the Orioles, and he hit a walk-off to win the freaking game. That's how he ended his career, with beating the Orioles. Thank you, Derek freaking Jeter. But it's just because I'm peanut butter and jealous, just like I'm jealous of Tom Brady. Thank God he's in the NFC now, and the man got to the Super Bowl again. Anyway, as a Baltimore Ravens fan, Tom Brady was a pain in the butt for many, 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 many years. The point is, they're not coaches, they're captains. They're on the field with the players, right? Derek Jeter would be diving into the stands. You don't want to be a fan in the stands. You want to get in the game, get on the field. He'd be diving into the stands, catching a ball, breaking his nose. The point is, that dude was a captain, not just a coach, and definitely not a manager, right? Just sitting back telling everyone else what to do. Coaching people's good, but show them. Be in the field, in the game with them. All right, let's do some Q&A and we'll wrap this bad boy up. Because at the end of the day, you will get better. Don't be bitter, get better. And one of my favorite sayings is don't be frustrated, get fascinated. I look terrible in that picture. Gosh. It's just a brutal picture. Brutal. All right, so let's do some Q&A. And let's also get some more reviews up, because we're going to give away a ring light to those of you that go to facebook.com/MyLifestyleAcademy/reviews. Take a screenshot, you leave a review, you have a chance to win a Diva ring light. And if there's any questions that we can answer before we wrap up,
can you
let us know. And then tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern, we'll be doing our final session. We'll be talking all things leads on leads. If you have a business, you should probably want leads. If you hate money, don't join us tomorrow.
Love that.
And for those of you that are asking about the lifetime recordings, once again, you can see it, mylifestyleacademy.com/live offer. That way you get lifetime access to all these recordings. I mean, there's people that paid $47 for this course back in the day, and they get access to this training, because we're going to continue to increase the price over time because it becomes more valuable. The price will be $297 next week. But if you get it by tomorrow, it's $97. So between now and tomorrow, $97, and then it's gone. It is gone. Gone. So I hope you guys are excited. Are there any questions? That picture doesn't look like you at all. I know, right? But how about this picture? You know what I'm saying? Got that hot girl on my left.
You crack me up.
Got my teeth fixed. That was one of my goals, actually. That was on one of my first goal sheets I ever made, is to get my teeth fixed. Because I did a lot of smoking when I was younger, got in a lot of fights, chipped teeth, veneers, all the things. Elena, if you want to check, you could just email our support team, support@mylifestyleacademy.com, or just log in, mylifestyleacademy.com. There's a login. /login. Awesome investment. I know, $97, lifetime access. It's great. We could charge $97 a month and justify it. We don't want to. We want to make this affordable for your teams, make this affordable for people that, are hurting on money. But again, if you wait till next week, it's $297. So just saying. Tech question. How do you invite to ATM once you hit 5,000 friends? Yeah, you got to be a friend to invite someone to a group. So Jill, I delete people every day. I'd recommend you do the same thing. I delete people all the time. If people aren't active on Facebook, look, in fact, I want you to go to your friends list, just start scrolling. You're going to notice a lot of people, their page is shut down. Like it's a deactivated page. So just delete people every day. Profile. Oh, they're fixing it?
Yeah.
Nice. We've had some issues with our alarm. How do you personally taproot? I don't understand that question, Natasha. I mean, you're basically working with the newest people on your team. How many new people joined your team in the last month? Lori said, you are rock stars. Thank you, Lori. Can't find the reviews. Just takes me to the Facebook page, baby.
The team will drop the link.
We'll drop the link for reviews.
Let me do it now.
Okay.
Let me do it now. I'm going to be responding to comments.
How do you register for your academy? Newish here. The link was just on the last slide, mylifestyleacademy.com/live offer.
And our team is responding to John to those questions. Yeah. So just.
Oh, Rekha found it. Natasha says, when you said Taproot, do you do that via ATM or another method? I'm just reaching out to new people, on the team, seeing how I can help them, making sure they're supported. Look, here's how I want you to look at taprooting, especially when you're newish, right? You're just kind of getting the ball rolling. You don't have like a huge business yet. Just treat every person on your team that's joined, your team, even if they're 5, 6, 7 levels deep, treat them like you personally enrolled them, because you're the fisherman. So taprooting is just, I'm building relationships, welcoming those new people, working with those new people. You know, I'm not saying, oh, that person's 5 levels removed and just managing people. Hey, Bob, you should work with Sarah and make sure she's good. And right. Like, I'm literally welcoming that new person. I'm building the relationship with that new person, because you never know. There's a person on your team right now that may quit if nobody is proactively supporting them and mentoring them and working with them. And that could be a superstar down the road if they just have that support in the early days, because maybe everybody between you and that person aren't really all that proactive like you are. So that's taprooting. New people are just as important. New people are the most important, quite honestly, because if new people are struggling and failing and quitting, your leaders are going to quit too. Like, who would be excited to build a business where the whole team is struggling and not winning, right? Now, of course, it is a struggle. Listen, business isn't meant to be easy. That's why most people do not make a lot of money in jobs or business or in life. It's hard. But if you put in the hard work and you do what's hard now, your life will be easier. If you try to do what's easy in life, you will have a hard life. Make sense? Like, it's easy to be a bartender or a waiter. Well, I don't think it's that easy, but it's easier than being a doctor or being a successful network marketer, right? But that's why you make a lot more money doing the hard thing. You got it, George. Lise King says, when you were getting into whales, dolphins, and sharks, how do you talk and interact with them? Dolphins make it fun. Whales make it inclusive and loving. What about sharks? Sharks are all about money. Sharks are all about recognition. They like the spotlight. They like looking sharp, right? They're very impatient. How many of you are a shark? And then you got the urchins that are just very analytical. And by the way, you can have more than one personality. Like, I have a lot of shark in me, but I also have dolphin. Like, I like to have a good time, you know? And I've become more analytical over time as well. How do you pick a personal assistant to handle your messages while you sleep? How much would you suggest to pay for them? Is there a website? Laura, if you actually shoot us a message, we have a blog post on outsourcing. Nadia is the best at hiring a team. In fact, Kyle, maybe you could respond to Laura with our outsourcing training, because that's actually a free blog post. It's incredible. The support email is support@mylifestyleacademy.com. We do have a lot of one-liners. That's 19 years in the memory bank. 19 years in the memory bank. When will the videos be up on the ATM website? I'm not sure, Chanel. Probably in the next couple weeks. Next couple weeks. Takes a while to edit them and everything. Isabella says, in the get organized portion of the training, how do you also include and HO into helpful apps like video creation, et cetera? What works best, or just simply company info? I would start with company info. Look, if your company already has a lot of those videos, just use those. Yeah, urchins are very, very analytical. They get analysis paralysis sometimes. But when they come on board, they don't quit as easily. They're less emotional. They're more cerebral. They're more analytical. They're more logical. It's not logical to quit network marketing, because logically, if you keep doing the work, eventually you'll have residual income. Where a dolphin or a shark, sometimes they're very emotional. They get pissed easier. They get discouraged easier. They quit easier. So they're easier to sign up, but they're harder to keep. Makes sense? Which is why when I have a shark on my team and they're complaining about something, I never try to calm them down with words like relax, chill out. It's all good. Why are you freaking out? Worst thing you could say to a shark. I get a shark pissed off, like, and they're not mad at me, but they're coming to me because I'm their upline, right? Negatives up, positives down. So if they come to me with a problem, I'm helping them solve that problem. I'm like, dude, that is annoying. She said what? He said what? That's not cool. Why? Because I know when I'm pissed off, if I go to my upline and they're like, dude, relax. I'm like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, right? I don't like when people tell me to calm down. In fact, that adds fuel to the fire. You want to put water on the fire. Oh, Samuel says, Africa, we are rising courtesy of your training. That's cool. That's very cool. I got to come to Africa one of these days. I really want to go to South Africa. I've heard some cool things, Plus, right now, it'd be a good time to be there. It is freezing here. So cold. Draw, I don't promote my company publicly. If you want to shoot me a message, I can give you some information. But we have a lot of networkers from other companies, leaders that share our training. So we don't really promote our company publicly like that. Tammy says, love your authenticity. I don't know how else to be, but be real. And I think for those of you that start creating content, we'll talk more about lead generation tomorrow. The sooner you can get over yourself and just be you, you want to be you times 2 on camera. Like you definitely want to project, but don't try to be someone you're not. I think that's one of the hardest things when we first get started with creating content and doing videos. We get this imposter syndrome. We try to be like other people, and that never works out well. Thank you, Mel. I appreciate that. When you said Taproot, do you do that via ATM or another method? I'm just reaching out to people. It's just having conversations with people on Messenger, and you could hop on the phone with people if you wanted. How do you register for your academy? Oh, okay, I already answered that, Stephanie. It's not letting me scroll up anymore. Oh, well. South Africa is an awesome country. The real John Melton. That's right, Lindy. Got to keep it 100. Do you mentor people personally? No, only my own team. I just don't have the bandwidth to like, charge people for coaching and do all that. Don't ever tell a woman to calm down. Exactly. Or a shark. I'm just telling you, calm down. Like, now I want to do the opposite. Today's training, super amazing, says Tim. I'm kind of a slow builder, says Danielle, but gaining momentum. How would you advise to speed it up a bit? Just double your activity and double your personal development. Double your activity, double your personal development. If you're reaching out to 5 a day, reach out to 10 a day. You're reaching out to 10 a day, reach out to 20. I mean, this right here is a great way to get better. Investing in yourself is the #1 thing you can invest in. You're so inspiring, says Kyla. Thank you. We love what we do. So it's easy to inspire people because we're so inspired by all of you. Awesome training, so much information. I tried to go to review, but cannot find tab on lifestyle/reviews. We'll change it in the title so you can do it. Maybe somebody could drop it in the comments. You're welcome. How often do you do trainings, et cetera, with personal recruits and the whole team? Not as often as you would think, because we have so many leaders that do those trainings, because you don't want to overtrain your team. And we have weekly Saturday training calls. We have tons of recorded trainings in the units. But I do a lot of public trainings. So a lot of my team does get on these public trainings. But it's funny because this is how it works when you become a leader. You'll have people from other teams that'll plug into your training and your own team won't. It's just the way it goes, right? Because they sort of take you for granted. And that's fine. It's not a bad thing because, I want people to learn from whoever they're learning from. I would love for them to learn from me, but sometimes you feel like, hey, I've heard a lot of that person's stuff. Let me go get inspired by someone new. We always like new stuff, It's just the way it goes. What's up, Nicole Morton? You rock star. So good to see you. Laura says, what test or website do you go to find out if you're a shark, dolphin, whale, etc.? There's a lot of personality tests out there. What would you say is your favorite one, Nadia? Laura, I'm going to tell you right now, though.
We actually have a personality test.
But
We're gonna upload it
I
to
know
the
for a
Academy.
fact, Laura, you are an urchin. You are very inquisitive, lots of questions, but that's not your only personality. That's just probably your strongest because you really analyze things, you think through things, which is good and bad, right? There's pros and cons to knowing everything because you get some people that are ignorance on fire, which is better than knowledge on ice. You know, sometimes analyticals move very slowly. They got to know everything, but once they get going, they don't quit as easily because they know too much to quit. So there's pros and cons to that. There's pros and cons to all personalities. I'm very impatient, right? But I've learned to be a chameleon and get along with all personality types. There's some personalities that, you know, they really need to be loved on. It's kind of like the love languages. You know, there's that's kind of like a different type of personality test, love languages. You've got, what was the test you said we were going to upload that could help
We
people?
actually have a personality test. We'll upload it to ATM Academy.
So those of you that have the ATM Business Academy will upload the personality test. It is helpful because it helps a lot when you are working with prospects, right? You ask people, what do you like best? What's your goals, right? You get a very good idea of who the person is based on what's most important to them. Like when someone really cares about family and unity and they talk slowly and they just have a big heart. That's more the whale personality. Nothing wrong with that, but I'm not going to talk to a whale the same way I'm going to talk to a shark. Just like I wouldn't talk to someone brand new the way I would talk to someone that's been on the team for 3 years. Just like I'm not going to talk to someone that's wanting to make 6 figures the same as I want to talk to someone that just wants to make $200 a month. So it's important to understand those different personalities. Yeah, you can share this, Thelma. Anyone can watch this the next 24 hours. But the only people that will have access to all this recorded training are people that have the ATM Business Academy. Joy said, I need a personality test. At first, I thought it said, I need a personality. But yeah, the personality tests are great because it's good to know your personality and figure out what, like literally back in the day, we got to a point, like, I don't even know if I know this like I used to, but back in the day, you remember it's like they could shake your hand, know your personality and how you use toilet paper.
Within 2 minutes.
How you use toilet paper to go to the bathroom.
I know.
Because you got this, we called them suns,
Uh-huh.
S-U-N, a sun.
Yeah.
Now later on, we turned it to dolphins because we're at a different company. But you would know like the dolphin would use like a lot of toilet paper.
Yeah.
They're just like having fun, not paying attention. The analytical would like take
Fold
off
it up
just a
neatly,
couple, fold it up
yeah.
neatly, and then wipe their behind. That sounds so terrible.
I know.
Then the shark, same thing, like just in a hurry, let's get it done.
Yeah,
Oh, that's funny.
that is funny.
And then the whale would only use like one little piece because they don't want to
Yes.
waste paper.
Yeah, no, you have to think about the earth.
Nicole definitely Nicole is super inclusive, loving, giving, caring. That is definitely her personality. And again, like, you know, I've been working with Nicole for years. She's one of my favorite people and she's such an incredible leader, has a huge heart, but you know, ultimately like she's well aware of like, that's her personality. And she doesn't try to put on a front like she's a shark, or she doesn't try to put on a front like she's an analytical. But what you do is when you get an analytical, you introduce them to another analytical. You get a shark, you introduce them to another shark, right? And by the way, some of you might be, you know, mostly you might have like 60% shark, but then you have 30% analytical. Or, and the analyticals will love this, right? Or they're like 50% analytical, but then they have 20% whale. And then they have like 25%, you know, shark. Like we all have a little bit of everything. Then you get people that are very much like, they're almost like a square. It's like they have, you know, 25, 25, 25, 25. Make sense? Cameron says, I am 10,000% a shark. Unmotivated people are hard for me to coach, but I'm working on learning to speak their language. Yeah, you got to be patient, Cameron. And like, look, I'll be honest, like sharks, I mean, I resonate and speak shark better than any language. That's that red personality. But sharks are also tough to deal with sometimes because they can be very short and they can be mean, right? And I know I've always had a temper. I've had a temper my whole life. People don't believe that sometimes because they meet me and I'm always very professional. But if you ask my wife, Nadia,
Yeah.
short temper?
Yes, please.
But I get over it quick.
Right.
I'll blow a fuse, get pissed, throw my phone.
Yeah.
And then like 2 minutes later, I'm laughing about something.
Mm-hmm.
Where a whale, they're going to hold your ass accountable
For
forever.
years.
For you. My mom will be
Decades.
like, My mom will bring up things from decades ago, things that I did or her sister did or this person did. She's still pissed about it and she'll never say anything. It takes a lot for her to say something. That's her. She doesn't want to annoy anybody, doesn't want to bother anybody, doesn't want to confront a situation, right? But those are like the best people, aren't they? I mean, the truth is, the kindest, the Mother Teresa's of the world, whale personality. Sharks, we can be jackasses. We can. Some of the meanest people, some of the ruthless people can be sharks, but some of the greatest leaders in the world are sharks. They like that recognition. They want to be in charge, right? They're corporate executives, top earners, generals in the army. So, right, they all have pros and cons. There's not one that's better than another. Please don't think I'm saying that. There's no such thing. By the way, you need all personalities on your team. You need the analyticals. You need the sharks. You need the whales and the dolphins, right? Someone's got to have fun. Like Justin Sarah, right? Like Justin Sarah, he's definitely got a lot of the analytical in him, but he's one of the executives in our company. Dude, at all the parties, he's doing the game night. He's doing the prizes. He's up the late, right? We caught him remember in Mexico? Not caught him, but he comes into the dance club. It's like 11:30 at night. Like we're in there. I don't even drink, right? So I'm just like hanging out with some team. I'm like, what's Justin Sarah doing in here? He's in there by himself. He just wants to dance, right? Have a good time. The point is, there's those personalities, man. And I'll tell you what, they can be the glue, right? They can be the glue because everybody wants to hang out with the dolphins. They're a good time, cracking jokes, right? Like I said, Nadia and I, we have a lot of the dolphin in us. You'll notice the sharks are sharp dressed, right? Loud colors. Like, look, just come here. This is Nadia at home right now. This is Louis Vuitton necklace, got the fancy dress. Like she wants to wear the nice shoes, wants to look good, painted toes, hair did, makeup, never wants to look crappy. She will not do a video if she don't look good. And by the way, I'm not that different. I got my, what is this? Ferragamo bracelet, right? That's a shark. Sharp dress, don't mess around. They want to make money. They like recognition. Where the whale's like, oh, I don't want to speak. I don't want to be recognized. Is this helping you guys? Nadia's trying to rush me over here. You Russian. Dolphins are the sapphire. Exactly. There you go. There's gems, there's animals, there's colors. The colors are always tough for me because people always confuse the blue and I can't remember. I know the green's analytical, red's the shark.
Probably the yellow.
Oh, the yellow and the blue. A lot of people confuse those two, which is why I don't like the colors. I like the animals. To me, the animals are the most obvious. The first company we were in, it was lightning, sun.
Yeah.
What was it? Lightning,
Earth.
sun, earth, which was the whale. Lightning was analytical. Sun was fun.
Fire.
Oh, fire. Yeah, the fire personality.
That's a good.
Because we get fired up.
Yeah.
Thelma says I'm a dolphin shark. Love the Q&A. Thank you. I'm a whale,
without
says
the
Mel.
dots, so much help.
Isn't it good to know your personality, though? And you start to understand why you are the way you are.
Yeah.
And you should never feel bad. Because this is how God made me. This is the blessing. This is the heart, the body, the personality. This is who I am. Don't negate that. Ruby red is shark. That's right. I love earth tones. Nice. Green is analytical. That's it. That is it. All right. No more questions. Got to wrap it up. Joining from Warren, Michigan live. Thank God for the 24-hour replay, says Rhonda. Aww. Leadership is a choice and a decision. Absolutely. Yeah. Let us know your other big takeaways. My man always says Hulk mad, then goldfish forgot. That's it. Right. I move on quick. I'm like, what happened? And that's why, like Rob Sperry reached out to me. He's like, I got to say, you're one of the most abundant leaders in the profession. A lot of people talk about abundance, but you live it. Like you lead by example. He's like, there's some people that maybe wronged you. There's some things that like have happened. And you still are just such a giver. Like you never burn bridges. Now I will say this though. I will burn bridges with bad people. If someone's like a bad person, I avoid them like the plague. Like I don't care to not burn the bridge. Like I will light that on fire. You understand? Nicole Morton says, love you, John Melton. I love that I can be me, but can talk to all the other types. Exactly. Like Nicole knows who she is. She knows her gifts. She knows the blessing that she is to others. And that's who she is. And that's why she's such a great leader. But she's also not going to be like, in your face and loud and proud like a shark personality. She's going to motivate you with her personality and how she does what she does. She'll speak life into you, and she'll speak like, and this is why you have to figure out your strengths and double down on that. I love when Gary Vee talks about that. Too many people are focused on their weaknesses. They're focused on what they suck at. Now, of course, you do have to develop skills in this business, but it's okay if you're not like the fun type. If you're like, John, I'm not the fun type. Like my team wants to do these fun things and, they want to plan trips. Like I'm not the planner. I'm not great. Then identify who is that person on your team and raise them up. Let them do that stuff. It's not a bad thing to not be these other things. Like you don't have to be, all the things for everyone. That's the point of this business, to have the team camaraderie and let others step up. So anyway, Nadia is definitely a shark. Definitely a shark. Who do you think's more shark, you or me?
That's a good question. Probably you.
That's tough. Probably me.
Probably you, John.
But if you ask the kids, who's more strict?
Well, that's the analytical in me. So so you got to know your primary and then secondary. My secondary is the analytical, hence the slides, organizations, workflows, systems, optimization. I love it. But then for you, John,
but did you hear this?
More fun.
But this is important to understand. Like, so I'm like a bull in a china shop.
Yeah.
But she makes the documents look pretty. She makes the slide deck. But I'm also not expecting, this is an important conversation. Let's wrap up with this when it comes to relationships.
Yeah.
Right. Some of you want your spouse to do more, but that's not their gift. Mm-hmm. That's not their blessing. That's not their God-given talent or ability. Like they don't want to be a leader. You be the freaking leader, but they're the relationship builder or the organized one on the back end. Mm-hmm. Like I don't say, Nadia, why aren't you responding to group chats? I tell my team, don't freaking put her in a group chat. She's not, that's not her. She's not going to talk to your prospect. She's probably not even going to check Messenger. While I'm watching this, I see unread messages from days ago. And she doesn't
in my inbox?
Right here. It's right there.
Oh, that's mine.
Yeah, these are her messages. And this isn't from like an hour ago. This is from days ago. Mm. She doesn't even acknowledge it. Like I want to click on it. It drives me crazy. I'm like, open it up.
It's not that I'm not acknowledging, but I have like focus on what I'm doing.
She's very clear on her priorities. Me, I'm like, let me just answer this one last message. Let me do this one last thing. Like that's why I'm always late for things. Although you're late for things too. Because we always try to squeeze in and optimize all minutes and moments and time.
Yes. So it's interesting because every personality has strengths and every personality has weaknesses. And the key to success is to surround yourself with people that cover your weaknesses.
Right.
So with John and I'm very clear about my strengths. And then I for sure have weaknesses.
It took years though.
Yeah,
because we didn't know this. We had to talk it out a lot.
Yeah.
How many times have we had those conversations over the years, like in the early days?
I know.
It's like she just didn't want to do certain things. It would suck her energy. Mm-hmm. And plus, we're both extroverted, but she's an extrovert, introvert, or whatever. I mean, I still don't really know if I agree. But
baby, don't disagree with your wife.
That's true. Her biggest thing is she needs to recharge her battery after being with people. Where me, I get a lot of energy from being with people.
That's how you know, by the way, whether you're an introvert or an extrovert.
But like when we're out,
recharge.
But when we were at the mastermind,
your battery.
Who was the life of the party? Who was more talkative and building the relationships? Like she really gets to know people and really asks questions and is just like networking like crazy. And then when she tells people she's an introvert, they're like
shocked.
No, they just disagreed. But shocked. Okay. But does this make sense?
I know my truth. Baby, remember that? I know my truth.
She knows her
What'd
truth.
you say? I know my truth.
I know the truth. I know my truth.
Where do you find the quiz? So we're gonna load it up, you guys, into the academy.
Nicole Morton says you are gorgeous, my friend.
Oh, Nicole, I love you. She's the best. All right, cool.
Cameron says I love seeing your balance to each other. My husband and I are pretty opposite, so we need to work more to use that to our advantage. Exactly. See, this is the tough part. So
The tough part is
I-
trying not to change your spouse.
Yeah,
And you know
so-
how Albert Einstein said, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, the fish will live the whole life feeling dumb.
feeling like a failure.
Essentially, and we all struggle with this, you know, where we want our significant other to be more like us.
Mhm.
It's, you know, we just have to remember that your strengths are your strengths, and then your job is to cover their weaknesses, which is what they're not good at.
Yeah, and it's so important too, because this is a conversation with your kids.
Mm-hmm.
We learned this actually from Danny Johnson, grooming grooming the next generation. Like she's really big on this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important because your kids are gonna be different personalities, and it helps to know, like, my son is so messy and disorganized. I need to help him with that because he has a lot of dolphin in him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I say my son, our son, but I was trying to talk like for them, like, oh, my son is so well, now you know why. He's not the same personality as you.
Yep.
You're trying to get him to be something he's not. Just understand that, like, he likes to have a good time. He's not as analytical as you, so you got to really coach him through that to help him realize the importance of making his bed. And, you know, the reason you're losing things like your earbuds or whatever they're called, AirPods, is because you lack the analytical side, you know, but also very competitive. So he's got a lot of shark in him as well. But the disciplines are very important in order to be that successful, you know, competitive athlete. You have to be disciplined. And sometimes certain personalities struggle with discipline or consistency. So just know your strengths and weaknesses. But, like, you know, there's people over the years where they're like, they'll reach out, they're like, oh, I wish my husband would be more involved, or I wish my wife would be more involved. Right. And it's like, that's not them though. Like, love them for who they are, because if they build relationships with your leaders on the back end, because they're just better at that than you are, then man, that's great. Or they're helping with the organization, or maybe they're not involved in your business at all. They just run the household. Right. Be grateful for that. Yes, because there's a lot of people that are single in this business. Like, they're a single mom, a single dad. Like, they don't have a supported home. Yeah. Right. So just be grateful for whatever they bring to the table. If they're just supportive and encouraging, be grateful for that. Yeah. Now, yeah, it does help when they get involved, but hey, I'll tell you something. You make a bunch of money, they'll get involved at some point. You go out there and crush it. You help them quit their job, they'll come around. Yeah. They might not ever be you or like you and be a leader per se, but what if they just refer you people? Nadia has introduced me to some really good people over the years. Now, she doesn't prospect them. She's just like, you got to talk to my husband. Oh, great question. What do we do? Great question. I'll introduce you to my husband. Yeah. And she could recruit him, but that's just, she already knows the deal. I'll recruit him. I mean, yeah, I'm going to let you play in your wheelhouse. You guys, the big conversation is, once you get into your wheelhouse, you stay there, right? Yeah. That's your strength. That's where you shine. And then you outsource, my next favorite word, ta-da! You outsource to people, to their wheelhouse. And it's just, you know, why work harder than you need to? You know what I mean? Why do activities that snag your energy? Yeah. Now, that's a slippery slope conversation, because that's Nadia's strength. You need to master hiring, outsourcing. It's hard, isn't it? It is. In the beginning, releasing control, giving other people access to your inbox or your email or your, like, private information, which she has a whole training on that. So you can avoid giving nobody should have your password. Right. Ever. Yeah. Ever. Even if you trust them 100%. Here's the problem. What if the password is somewhere that someone their internet is compromised? Right. That happens. Right. Yeah. What if someone else gets, anyway, that's a whole other conversation for another day. Hope you guys got a lot of value out of module number 4. Do you guys understand how priceless this training is? It's ridiculous. So good. This is ridiculous. We could charge $97 for just today's training. So you better get your hands on this, because you get lifetime access. The price goes up to $297 on Saturday. Yeah. I think. So mylifestyleacademy.com/live offer. And if you have more questions, anything we didn't cover, join us again tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern. We'll do another Q&A at the end of that training. That training is going to be geared towards lead generation. We're going to talk TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Generating leads is kind of a big deal. That'll be our final session of the week. We love you. We appreciate you. And thank you for the shares, the love, the comments, the reviews, all the things. And we out 5,000. That's awesome. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Peace.